Hey, this is John Lever. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to just talk about how to maybe work on a stretch or lengthen the trapezius and get a little bit more down your back. Our default position in life, right, is we got our head down, we're doing our cell phone, or on our keyboard, or we're taking things out of the grocery cart, picking up our kids, sitting down at the dinner table, slouching on the couch. We have this propensity for this forward flexion in the shoulders. So all I'm going to do today is, some of you guys had asked about things you could perhaps do. So keep this in mind is, muscles can be tight for one of two reasons, right? So muscles can be tight because they're stuck short or they're stuck long. In most cases, what we've done here is in this slouch position, we've got these muscles long. And the three muscles that we're mostly going to play with, and there's more, but I mean the three ideas that we're going to play with here is trapezius number 1, serratus number 2, and rhomboids number 3. So rhomboids actually draw the shoulder blades. If you took that medial border of the shoulder blade and you squeeze them together, those would be rhomboids. And in order to get those to squeeze, the serratus, there's a muscle that goes under the shoulder blade and it attaches here to the ribs. All right. And so neurologically, when you squeeze your shoulders behind you, these have to let go. So the first thing we can do is just a yoga pose. I'm going to play mostly with yoga poses today, and we'll use a little bit of a prop. So just interlace your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders, and again, pull your hands down as if you could bring them between your heels. And so bring them down between your heels. You can see again, maybe you can feel that the shoulders go back and down. So right here, try to squeeze the medial border of the shoulders together while you pull your hands straight down to the floor. And then go ahead and, while I'm looking at you, I would rather you keep your chin centered, right? Try to even both shoulders, right and left. Keep the belly in, so you don't want to blow the belly out. You want to keep the belly in, just keep pulling that straight down. Do that numerous times, right? Any of these exercises, I would suggest you do them a lot, right? If you're sitting at your desk for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, take some time off every single hour to take some time and really and truly just do the stretches, to do the work. The second thing you can do, someone called and they asked and they said there was a strap thing that we had seen in a workshop. And so get a strap. I mean, I've already pre-marked mine, so I know about the right length. So you're going to have to play with it maybe a little bit. And I like the belts that have a buckle or a latch on them, all right? The idea is we're going to bring it around under the arm so it goes over the shoulder. So again, we're going to keep trying to bring that trap back, okay? And so to do that, you got to get it over your head, right near your shoulder blades, right? And then it's going to come over the front. I would suggest you cross it here. It's really going to be crossed behind your back. But if you cross it in front, you can control it better, right? And once you got it here, now I have the straps right here in front, right? And so when I put some pressure on, I'm going to try to drag that trap back. And so just like we did a minute ago, right? You could simply roll those back, right? And take them down your back. But if you wanted to get a little bit more emphasis on it, you could actually take a dowel, put the dowel inside of that and twist it up a whole bunch. This is, again, a technique from Adil Palkavala. This is not exact. This is the general idea of it, because I'm going to keep this video pretty short, all right? So find that evenness between the left and right. And once you find it's even, again, you can do the same thing and you use that extra emphasis to pull, right? So the straps, as you can see, draw up over the top and then down the back, right? And you can adjust the tension, right? You can keep winding this dowel up a little tighter, a little tighter. I'm just going to see what that might look like in the back. And again, it's this rolling down, this pulling down that's going to happen. And again, you might hold that a little longer. Once you've taken the time to actually dress yourself up and get this all configured, you might spend some time to hold it a little bit longer. And really and truly, try to soften your belly. Try to soften your back. Another thing that might be really advantageous to you is consider that your forward posture is constantly, right, this forward flexion is constantly creating some kind of a myofascial pattern in the musculature, in the myofascial layers. And every time that you achieve that shape or stay in that shape, it's going to get a little thicker, it's going to stay a little longer. So the same thing, once you come here, you want to hold it a little bit longer, but then you could also start to work maybe with the neck. So you could tilt it way to the right, you can tilt it way to the left, you can get your chin up. Try to not do the chin into the chest, you're already long there. If the pattern is this rounded thing here, let's go in the other direction. Shoulders back, chin up, maybe tilting the head, rotating the head. Anything where you're going to get the muscles and, again, the upper back and neck to contract, right? If they're overstretched long in that pattern, then by using them and squeezing them, you want them to contract so they come back out, as much as they're able to, right? It depends how many hours you spend in one position and how much time, right? If we spend 2 minutes doing contraction exercises and 3 hours in a forward shoulder slouchy pattern, right, it's really going to have an effect on how much time you spend doing one and the other, right? So spend some time really truly holding the pattern, moving the neck, all right? The third thing you can do, and again, while I have a shirt on, it's going to be harder, but a yoga mat, a sticky yoga mat might be helpful. And so really quickly, on this yoga mat, bridge pose is the idea. So the idea is once you're in your bridge pose, what's going to happen is if you can get the trapezius and the shoulder blades on this sticky mat and you press into your feet, I'm not worried about going up. So in bridge pose is really a different objective. There's a different intention to the pose. All I want you to do here is be able to slide your head that way, right? So you're going to get your shoulders stuck on the mat, and as you slide up, what's going to happen is the trapezius is going to get drawn down the back. And you might find this feels sweet, especially if you stay centered. So feel that, and if it's symmetrical between the left and right shoulder blades, you might stay there. But the other thing you could do is you could actually focus on one shoulder blade. So if I lean a little bit more to the right, press a little bit more into my feet, lift the hips up a little bit, I'm really pressing that shoulder blade into the mat and dragging the trapezius down my back. And you could do the same thing on the left side. If that becomes too much, if there's really too much work going on there, you could find some other things. Find some, whether it's and again, you don't need, props like this. You could use pillows off your couch. What you really want to do is do it so you can get your legs to do the pushing. Let me scoot up here so you can see that. You want to get the legs to do the pushing. All right. So again, you can just hold this. This could be a way you might watch TV. We're talking about doing it at length for more than a minute or two. You could just press into it here. And the last thing worth talking about here is, when we're talking about strengthening, pressing the head down. Really try to push my head through the floor to the right side, to the left side, whatever muscles, again, that you can contract. And the last way you might contract them, again, is just coming onto your belly and reaching behind you, trying to get the rhomboids again. So you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. You're going to drag the hands down towards your feet. Maybe look up and squeeze everything in the back of your neck and head so that you're contracting those muscles. And again, you could release and engage. And release and engage. So again, there's 4 or 5 ideas of what you might do. If you have any questions, any comments, be sure to leave them in the block below. If not, you can go to my website, johnleverwellness.com, and leave me a comment there. Let me know what you think, or if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.